What's up there and welcome to a brand new video on 414 Yugioh. In today's video, 10 times that the Yu-Gi-Oh anime screwed the rules on the TCG and OCG. And hey, if you're new here, why not join the 414 community by hitting the subscribe button and the notification bell so you don't miss out. So, I just want to point out that obviously I know the anime and the manga and whatnot have kind of manipulated the game a little bit to make it more entertaining viewing. And I'm not hating on any of these moments, can I say. This is one of the things that I absolutely love about the show. I love how they've kind of manipulated this to make it like kind of better, and you know, these kind of you chuckle at them. As well as this, majority of these of course is from Duelist Kingdom, because Duelist Kingdom was basically just a crazy old time with your field power bonuses and shenanigans that I'm gonna get into in just a second without giving anything away. Let's roll intro and get straight into the video. Kicking things off, I'm going with Yugi versus Panik, and this is an absolute supreme classic moment here. Of course, it's the flotation ring on the Castle of Dark Illusions where Yugi ends up firing Gaia the Dragon Champion off Catapult Turtle straight into the flotation ring of Castle of Dark Illusions, which then forces it to fall and crush all of Panik's monsters. I believe Swords of Revealing Light was involved in this as well, kind of trapping everything together. Absolutely incredible. I just loved that, and I think when I first saw it I was like, awesome. I mean, you just can't fault the logic though, really. I like it. It makes sense. Next up, another classic Duelist Kingdom one here, Yugi versus Mako Tsunami. So, of course, we know the field power bonuses things were going down, so monsters were getting these kind of crazy power boosts and some were getting power decreases and whatnot. Mako obviously used Umi, which is understandable since he uses water-type monsters. Ume, in this circumstance, though, had the ability to hide Mako's monsters as well, so Yugi didn't actually know what was going on. One, he didn't know what the monster was, and two, he didn't know where or when it was going to attack from, which was quite incredible. But of course, the most iconic moment here, I mean, they even made a card on this, like highlighting this classic screw the rules moment, was when obviously Yugi summoned the giant soldier of stone and used him to attack the moon, in which affected the tide of Mako's Umi field spell, exposing all these defenseless fish for Yugi just to kind of pick off and chow down on. Next up, we're going for a Battle City screw the rules. So, moving out of Duelist Kingdom a little bit. This, I believe, was when Yugi and Kaiba teamed up against Loomis and Umbra. Yugi had Summon Skull out on the field, and he used one of the magnet waters to power it up because magnets and electricity work, right? So, I loved that concept. It was just like, oh, cool. Yeah, that's amazing. I love that. I mean, you know, it's the simple logic and things like that, but I guess, you know, if you look at it in another format, we're in turn learning some science and stuff like that as well. So they're not just screwing the rules, they're kind of teaching us that electricity and magnets work and stuff like that, which is pretty impressive. But while I'm on the theme of Summon Skull as well, there was another moment backtracking back to Duelist Kingdom again. This was when Yugi was taking on Weevil, and we obviously had the Great Moth in play. So this one basically played on the theory that water conducts electricity, which obviously it does, in which Yugi plays Mokyu the Magical Mist to create a mist around the Great Moth, to which Summon Skull used its lightning to just kill the hell out of it, really, which was quite impressive. Next up is, I want to talk about just Duelist Kingdom rules in general. I mean, there was some really crazy stuff going on. I remember like Joey versus Mai. Joey couldn't attack the Harpy Ladies because they were off the ground. Monsters were ground monsters, so that couldn't do a thing. It always happens to Joey, actually, because it was, I think, against Bandit Kiva as well. His machine monsters couldn't be affected by magic, so it was just like, okay, awesome. That makes sense. But of course, you know, like I mentioned before, we had the field power bonuses and whatnot. Of course, you didn't have to tribute for any monsters of level 5 or above. They could just be summoned. We didn't really see the guys had extra decks at all, so fusion monsters were presumably just in the main deck. There was also the fact that the ritual cards used to summon the corresponding ritual monster was slightly off. You didn't have to actually have the ritual monster in your hand, so as soon as you draw the ritual card, it was just like, yep, cool, I'll sack these two off as a ritual and Boom, Magician of Black Chaos right there. Another interesting one is that a monster that was treated as an equipped card was still treated as a monster and could therefore be in turn still used as a tribute for ritual summons and whatnot. So yeah, just the Duelist Kingdom rules as a whole. I'll also combine this with Yugi's main protagonist powers, as we've seen in many occasions. I think Jaden does it quite a lot in GX, but it's I'm the main character, so this situation is going to happen to benefit me, and you just see all these crazy things going off, which I'm all for. I love that. I love little things like that. Moving on, how broken is Tomb World? Our Tomb World obviously is just, as it is. You have to pay 1,000 life points to activate the thing, just so that we can use the Toon monsters. However, Toon World was pretty much Pegasus could do whatever he wanted with this, really. I mean, the main thing that stands out for me is that any monster could become a Toon monster as soon as he took control of it, and the fact that once the monsters had done attacking, they just whoop right back into the Tomb World book, and they were safe and sound. No one's attacking us. And of course, back then in Duelist Kingdom, you couldn't attack a person directly, so this was like a really good form of like defense, almost ultimate defense kind of thing. So let's move on to some Kaiba stuff. We love Kaiba screwing the rules, of course, because he has money. But he also has great hacking skills. As we saw Yugi against that Ghost Kaiba. Kaiba actually hacks the system to make the blue eyes start like melting and losing attack points and stuff. But no one really bats an eye to this going on, and Yugi's just kind of like, yes, fine. This combines well with my main protagonist power, so I will destroy this thing. Yeah, I thought that was like, they let that slide? Really? That's pretty interesting. But going on Yugi's godlike protagonist powers, Kaiba of course used a very interesting strategy against him when they dueled in Duelist Kingdom, which was, this card game is not going my way, so let's stand upon the battlements and claim that if you are to strike this hologram is going to send me flying, my eternal doom. Which was just Yugi being too nice for his own good, because you'd think you'd be like, yeah, this is not going to happen. I'm going to call your bluff on this one, bro. And yeah, I'm just going to attack and see what happens. I mean, I think if push came to shove, he'd be like, oh my, this virtual thing is actually going to push off this castle. I'm going to jump down before this happens. Next up, we're still sticking with Kaiba, but we're sticking with mistakes in the anime overall. One that stood out to me from the very beginning, and I didn't put it in my Things You Missed series, which I'll leave a link to in the cards right now, so I thought I'd highlight it in this slot here, was basically in the first duel between Kaiba and Yugi. Did you notice that Kaiba actually summons 2 blue eyes in one turn? So he had one out, and then I think Yugi has a turn, and then Kaiba's like, well, what are you going to do against 3? And it was just like, oh, how did you summon 2? Just like, where are these blue eyes coming from? So I believe this is Kaiba using his antagonist power, I guess, to screw the rules. But ultimately, Yugi, with his suggested top decking, a lot of people say that the Exodia thing was top decking, but, obviously has the last laugh. Sticking on Yugi and Kaiba then, so obviously in that same Duelist Kingdom duel between the two of them, there was that famous moment where Yugi fused Mammoth Graveyard with the Living Arrow card and basically just shot it into the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon. It was just like, okay, awesome. To be fair, a lot of these things are kind of okay, wow. But I think we're okay, wow, because of the thought process that has gone behind this. For Yugi to think, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to fuse this with this arrow. I'm going to shoot this dragon right where it needs to be shot. Which I think is incredible. Sticking on the theme of the Blue Eyes Ultimate Dragon as well, I like the way that they said, because this dragon has 3 heads, you've got to kill it 3 times. Which was just like, okay, yeah, cool. So it sometimes reminds me of those childish games you play when you're younger. You're playing heroes and villains and whatnot, and you're just making up these stupid rules on the spot, which kind of put the favor in your hand kind of thing. So I like that they did this in the show as well. I thought it was really good. It's a good sense of imagination. I like that. Talking about imagination and completely changing a game to swing in your favor, let's talk about Yugi and Joey teaming up in that tag duel against the Paradox brothers, where they kind of like, you know, hey, you know this game that you've been playing for like the whole of this tournament and the whole of your lives? Well, here's Labyrinth Wall, and this is completely different. This isn't even Yu-Gi-Oh anymore. We've basically just made up our own game. Pegasus didn't like it. He banished us down here. So anyone that stumbles across here, we make you play it as punishment. Which is kind of crazy. I like that the stakes were really high on this as well. It's like, you know, one door's going to lead you out, one door's going to lead you to, like, death, pretty much. So let's give you a game that you've never even, like, thought of before. And, of course, they stacked it all in their favour with things like Shadow Ghoul and, you know, the Labyrinth Tank and things like that. So fair play to them. You know, if you're going to try and take an advantage, you might as well do it to the absolute fullest. And, yeah, they did that. Finally, let's talk about Infinity. In terms of Infinite Karibo, when Yugi uses Multiply on it, I'm pretty sure you've only got 5 slots, and I mean that was what we have in the TCG anyway. We have those 5 Karibo tokens once you've played Multiply, or 4 if you included Karibo as well. But for Yugi, it's just like, no, just infinite balls everywhere that are gonna like work as the most ultimate defense the world has ever seen. And we've seen him use it obviously against Kaiba in Duelist Kingdom. He used it against Pegasus to like, you know what, your Thousand Eyes Restrict is gonna swallow up all these Karibo first, and you know, by the way, they're like infinite. So I hope your Thousand Eyes Restrict has got an appetite for balls, because plenty are incoming. And I believe he even used it against Obelisk as well. It's like, I think it was in Battle City against Kaiba again. I think Kaiba's just like, get these balls out of it, man. It's just absolutely crazy. But yeah, Infinite Karibos for the win. So much cuteness everywhere. Can you imagine Infinite Watapon? I need to use Multiply on Watapon. Yeah, that'd be amazing. But thanks for watching this, my video 10 times that the Yu-Gi-Oh anime screwed the TCG and OCG rules. I hope you enjoyed the video. Like I said, this is just a light-hearted video. I'm just highlighting some of the classic times that this was going on. I'm not kind of like, oh my god, it's not the same as the TCG. It's just a nice light-hearted video where I thought I could just ramble on. Which you can tell because I did not script this video. I just picked 10 moments that I thought were really cool and just went for it freestyle. So I hope you enjoyed it, and let me know what your favourite screw the rules moments are as well, because there are plenty that I've probably missed out on here. But of course, if you'd like to see more Yu-Gi-Oh content just like this one, Yu-Gi-Oh facts, Yu-Gi-Oh theories, and more, then hit the subscribe button. Also, if you enjoyed this video, don't forget to smash the like button, share this video with a friend, or just leave me a comment in the section below. Like I said, let me know what your favourite screw the rules moment was in the comment section below. But that is it from me. I will see you in the next video. Peace!